Chastity, the social media influencer and rockstar killer. Maria, from Miami. And Lucy, aspiring actress. Sydney, hip-hop lover and writer, so I'm told. And my quiet one, Mackenzie. Well, hello, ladies. I'm Bella. I have a question for everyone. Why do you think rich men cheat? Control.
I'm going home.
Don't go.
Attention.
You bring the total package to the table. You just need the right friends.
Are you my friend?
No, but you can be mine.
And power.
I stuck my neck out for you.
Thank you!
And I pulled the strings to get you onto this show.
Take all three away, and he becomes desperate.
So, what's with the apples?
Well, it represents knowledge, wisdom, beauty, and power. Here, you will learn how to gain ownership of all.
I'm gonna send you the money for the ticket, and I already have your room set up at the Palms.
You do that, babe.
Because once you have possession of the apple, no man alive will have power over you.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not easy.
Brett, look, I'm sorry.
Save it! Save it!
I get no auditions.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
I get no callbacks.
I really need to get upstairs. They stole all my money.
I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no better than the rest of us.
Right now they have a do not disturb until this afternoon. If they call you, great.
How is he gonna call me if he doesn't?
If not, charge it to the game.
Make no mistake, ladies. In order to succeed in this game, you must be willing to play it out till the very end.
This business is all types of savage. What are you doing?
But if you follow my blueprints, I guarantee you will become a millionaire within the next 3 years. Possibly way earlier. So, are you ready to take that step?
Another day, another dollar. Ain't about money, don't you holler. 100 miles and racing, and that money conversation be my only motivation, yeah.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Catherine Nunez, and you're watching Real Talk with the director and the counsel on the IE Network.
Real Talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real Talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
It's Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Trina Parks. You are listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Nothing more, nothing less. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. We'll be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk is brought to you each and every Monday by B2S Media and the IE Network. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on youtube.com/IE Network TV. All righty then. What's up to the chat room? What's going on, Joseph? Yes, sir. And today got a nice lineup here set up for you. We have a guest coming on. He'll be on pretty soon, early. Uh, Mr. Demetrius Angelo is going to be joining us. He is the founder of and the creator of the Urban Action Showcase, which will be celebrating, I believe it's its 12th year. I might be wrong. I could be mistaken, but yeah, it's going to be it's going down. It's going down in the DM. It's going down this weekend, and nice lineup. So we'll have him on, talk about it briefly. He's not gonna have a lot of time, but we'll have him on. Also we'll review the new Marvel television trailer. It's pretty much previewing. It previewed all of the shows that are coming to Disney Plus from Marvel. It's the television and animation, pretty much. So everything that's going to keep you busy between the end of this year and next year, leading you in to the next movie, which I want to say the next movie is the Fantastic Four, or yeah, something like that. So there we go. A lot of things to talk about, of course. Rest in peace to the great, legendary, producer, composer, author, entrepreneur. He was a little bit of everything, right? Artist. Quincy Jones passed away at 91. He just passed away, I believe it was yesterday, at the age of 91. So the legend himself, legendary producer, Quincy Jones, as we know, has so many things under his belt. But you have to say, one of his most noted moments or works is obviously working with Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, Thriller, and of course being part of the We Are the World project that went on. He was the guy that kind of helped. He was brought in to kind of keep everybody in line. And I have a question. Somebody asked me this, and I thought it was a good question to bring to the table. Is there anyone else that could have done what Quincy Jones did for We Are the World? Meaning, is there anyone else that comes to mind that has the resume, the authority where people will listen to him because he's Quincy Jones, right? The cachet, if you will, right? To be appointed in that spot. We know that Lionel Richie and his team pretty much organized it. If you have not seen the documentary on Netflix, I think it's on Netflix. It's like the greatest night in pop history. If you have not seen that, you need to see it. But anyway, you'll realize that Lionel Richie and his team helped put together, kind of organize the entire thing. But Quincy Jones was the guy. He was the glue that he wouldn't say the glue, but he was just at that head. He was, if this was a class, he was definitely the dean. He was the teacher. More like the dean, because he didn't really teach anybody anything. Everyone there was professionals. So, is there any other figure in music history that comes to mind, whether they was there or not, dead or alive, that you think could have done that? I mean, my first instinct was no. I don't think anybody would have been a better suited person. And I'm not looking for better. I'm just looking for anyone else. What if Quincy Jones says, nah, I don't want to do that? Do you not have We Are the World? Nah, it's just interesting. It's just interesting. We'll talk a little bit about his legacy And yeah, man, and that's that. So let me go over the weekend recap real quick. So then we'll get the Jedi Council, we'll get our people in here, and we'll get our guest on here. He's coming on early. And let's talk. We're gonna be able to talk about this wonderful, wonderful expo that he has. He's been doing it for several years. I never make it out to it. I'm so bummed out all the time. I made it to one of his events and had a ball, and we're meeting Time Mock and stuff. So this time, the entire, not the entire, but a lot that's still alive, cast of The Last Dragon will be out there. So I'm gonna let him explain some of the people that are coming. I don't want to take take that shine, and let him explain a little more about his festival, his expo, because it's a little bit of everything, man. It's like a film festival. It's like a Comic Con. Like, it's just like, it just feels like a little bit of everything. And the one thing about it is this is a black man who is celebrating people of color, celebrating action films, classic action films. I mean, it's a great, great, great movement that he has started. And we over here at Real Talk are very proud of this, man. So can't wait to have him on. We'll go from there. Weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com for the week of November 1st to the 3rd. The number 5 here. That's the film with that is the Forrest Gump reunion, isn't it? The 2 stars of Forrest Gump coming there, Tom Hanks and I can't think of the young lady's name, but yeah, Jenna, basically. That movie opened up domestically only and 2,600 theaters plus. It's been in release 3 days and it's only made $5 million. Okay. Conclave is number 4, which was released. It's been released for 10 days now. It's at 15 million, only a domestic release. Smile 2 made 6.8 million over the weekend. Opened October 18th. It's now at $109 million worldwide. Number 2 is The Wild Robot at 7.6 million over the weekend. 269 million worldwide for The Wild Robot. Number 1, Venom: The Last Dance made 26.1 million, bringing the total of 90 million domestic, 227 million international, bringing it to a 317 million worldwide. So Venom: The Last Dance, which a film I'm not really in a rush to see, but there you have it. That is the weekend recap brought to you by BoxOfficeMojo.com. All right, let's get Ralph in here. I guess Kev might join us soon. Ralph, you're in the building, man. Thank you. Welcome back.
Hey, everybody. What's going on?
Yeah, man.
Vote tomorrow. Vote tomorrow.
Yes, go out and vote. And also, today is November 4th. I want to give a special, big screaming, a shout out. Happy birthday to my brother and my partner in grind. That is Heaven Hollywood. Happy birthday, Heaven Hollywood. We appreciate you. I love you, brother. And yeah, man, hope you're enjoying your birthday. You know, don't get in no trouble. Don't cuss nobody out. Take a day off. But yeah, speaking of cussing people out, go out and vote tomorrow. Oh man. Everybody, please go out and vote. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you who to vote for, who to not vote for, but go and vote, people. Go vote. I mean, it is a right that our ancestors, our people before us, fought for us to have to do. I mean, people literally died for our right to vote. I mean, just thinking about that would make me feel guilty if I didn't vote, to be honest with you. It's just messed up, you know. And it's not just people, ancestors, it could be someone directly connected. You know, your great grandparents probably suffered because of this. Your grandparents, not even just your great grandparents. Your grandparents suffered because of the way things were before, you know, voting and stuff like that. So, or they were allowed to vote. So let's just say that voting's been around forever. But so go out and vote, man. It's really serious stuff. It's a serious business. And if you don't vote, don't complain. That's all I'm
Exactly.
gonna say. In my opinion, you do not have the right to complain if you do not exercise your right to vote. Make sure you go out and vote, man. So yeah, man. So I'm sure on the other side of a couple of minutes or not or so, like 8:15, he's supposed to come on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in a couple of minutes, we'll get Demetrius in here.
Yeah,
Always a pleasure having him.
I am so amped for this weekend. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. Listen, tickets are still available, everybody. If you want to come up, you know, you want to meet some martial artists, see some classic movie screeners, meet Timeock or the Hammer. You know, come on out.
Yeah.
We're gonna have ball. Regal Cinemas 42nd Street. Come on out, come on out, and support. We need things like this. We need
it, and we needed to keep going. We needed to always keep going. This is what, his 12th annual one?
Yeah, 12 years he's been doing this.
12th annual, man. That alone is remarkable because this stuff is not easy, man. To be the person who has to put it all together and find sponsors and put your own money in and find the people and bring in, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole thing. So, and this is stuff that's usually done by like a whole team of people. Now, I'm sure he's got some people helping him, but he's the main guy who does a lot of the stuff, you know. So, but this, you know, film festivals, stuff like that, it's usually done by like a panel of people, like a whole team, you know. So, to be able to do this, man, I did look on there and see that they had a couple of cancellations on the site. There's a couple of cancellations, unfortunately.
You know what? Even there was a couple of cancellations, that's okay. That's okay. The main people are going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, and you know,
yeah,
Timeock is going to be there to cast The Last Dragon. And then groups that go around that are in the martial arts, like a lot of independent filmmakers, which is what this show is all about, that produce martial art movies, they will be in there showing their film, screening their stuff, you know. And the truth, man, you never know who just come walking up in there and you say, hey, I was in the area, you know. And not for nothing, you also got all the Evans kids, JJ, Michael, and Thelma will be there Saturday, you know. So it's gonna be a fun event.
I think Jimmy Walker is canceled. He has a booking conflict, according to the website.
Oh,
but Ralph Carter and Bernadette Stannis is going to be there. So according to the website, I've been looking on the website,
and I'm looking here on the website. I see, you know, Reggie from Bad Boys, he's coming, you know, and I didn't know this one, but Samantha Irvin and Ricochet from the WWE, they're coming. I am amped now. I'm amped to meet Samantha Irvin. I'm like, whoa.
Samantha's the announcer, right? She's the one that does the announcing. She's so hot.
She just
too,
left.
Man.
She just stopped doing it like 2 weeks ago. So I'm like, yeah.
And I like her too, man. She gets it in.
Yeah.
So she stopped doing it. That's interesting. Is she? I'm assuming she's going to another.
I mean, because Ricochet is her husband.
Company.
So I mean, Ricochet is no longer with WWE. So he's now with I guess what is it, NXT? So or whoever it is, whatever it is. So maybe maybe she's rolling with him to them.
Maybe so. We'll find out. Make sure you ask her that.
I'm definitely
that's what's
asking.
up.
I
Nah,
am
most
definitely
definitely.
asking her.
Yeah, she is. I love seeing. I see her little videos all the time when she's, doing her announcements and stuff. She's good. She was always
Mm-hmm.
good. She's
Yeah.
very she puts a lot into it. And speaking of which, we got Mr. Angelo in the green room. So we're gonna bring him in here, man. So like I said at the top of the show, this gentleman has been doing this for, if I'm not mistaken, 12 years. This is the 12th annual Urban Action Showcase, and that alone is just a great accomplishment. And everything that uh, this organization, this expo stands for, man, it's just something that it's a blessing that it's been around this long. He doesn't have a lot of time, so we want to get him in here, let him explain. It's going down this weekend. Let's get
Saturday.
Mr. Demetrius. Yes, Saturday. Mr. Demetrius Angelo. Thank you for coming, brother. Welcome back.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, always, man. We always love having you on, man, every year. It's amazing you've been doing it this long, man. That's amazing. So congratulations on that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Well, you got to persevere, man. When you have a purpose behind the passion, it gives you the strength to climb that mountain that you're going to have to climb in order to keep anything alive that's going to benefit the community. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we make sure that heroic images are both remembered and celebrated at the same time.
Yes.
So the Urban Action Showcase and Expo celebrates diversity and multicultural achievements in the blockbuster action genre. That's the genre of heroes. We want to make sure that people that look like me and you are saving the day in mainstream media, because images will always motivate, but they will also dictate people's perception of reality, right? Because at the end of the day, perception is reality. Many people walk in that perception and not the truth. And when you have images bombarding you that are negative and there's no balance, that's where we have the issues that we have today.
Yeah, perfectly said. So with that being said, now this year you have as you do every year, you have an all-star lineup, people, that represent some of the films that we loved growing up and watching, and the things that we still watch now. These are the films that stuck with you, especially films that you see when you're younger, or especially if you're like a child or even teenager. These films stick with you. These were the films that they were making back then, and there's a lot of people coming that's representing these films. We have the Last Dragon, of course, classic. I just actually watched it maybe about 5 days ago. I mean, it still holds up. It's great. And you know what else? What I have to say about that is a lot of these youngsters now, they do the reaction videos, right? So I'm seeing a lot of younger film lovers reacting to The Last Dragon. They're watching it and they're like, oh, they've never seen it. They may have heard about it and they're watching it and they're like, react. And I think that's cool because it's introducing a whole nother audience to the film. So,
well, absolutely.
Tell us,
this year we're doing 50 years
up.
of action cinema and pop culture. 50 years, and these are the people who've laid the foundation for the culture, for us to stand where we're standing. We're talking about Fred the Hammer Williamson, Three the Hard Way. We're talking about Ron Van Cleef, the Black Dragon, the first African American to ever do kung fu films in Asia. Wow. We're talking about Bernadette Stanis and Ralph Carter, the first, Black families on television, young people, giving them, the vision of how to navigate through the struggles that we were going through and continue to go through with pride and perseverance. regardless of the circumstances.
Yep.
We're talking about, as you mentioned, cult classics like The Warriors. We got
Yes.
8 of The Warriors, and rest in peace
Oh.
for David Harris, who just passed.
Yes, he just passed.
He was
Yeah.
just with us at Comic-Con, so thank God he got to see his fans in a major way one last time. But we're going to honor him as if he were still with us, and we have a special memorial performance for him.
Nice.
We're also talking, like you mentioned, The Last Dragon. The Last Dragon, if you look at the timeline of action cinema, the 70s, the last film, 1984, One Down, Two to Go, the follow-up of Three the Hard Way. That was the end of the blaxploitation era between 82 84. But your first film that was not part of the blaxploitation era, first action film to have that lead, was Timac, The Last Dragon. That's Barry Gordy, Motown meets martial arts. And then you only got one person after that in that decade, and that was Carl Weathers for Action Jackson.
Yep.
So we're talking about people who've laid the foundation. Now, as we go down the line, we're also celebrating the 30th anniversary of Street Fighter. The 30th anniversary of the Crow. We got the little girl, Sarah Moa, she'll be there. The 20th anniversary of Kung Fu Hustle, 20th anniversary of Blade Trinity. We also
20th anniversary of
Blade
Trinity.
Wow.
Exactly. But before I continue, I want to shout out Lionsgate for coming on board this year with their fast channels, Movie Sphere and Outer Sphere, which you can see behind me. It's great when you have some people that believe in you. It's a heavy burden when you're carrying something by yourself. And thank God for the people who have supported from day one, like Fred Williamson, like Ron Van Cleef, like Timac, like Michael Jai White, the martial arts community, also Tyra Cassell, so many people. Thank God for those people, and thank God for those communities that I grew up in, as a youngster, as a martial artist.
Yeah.
The stunt community that's been there from day one. People like Ralph, Terry.
I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm just an ordinary guy. That's all I'm saying.
No, but Ralph spreads the gospel. Ralph spreads the gospel, man. He's out there spreading.
Listen. I don't. No funny thing is, I don't even remember how I met Demetrius. I cannot sit, because usually I can sit and say I met you here. All I remember is I met this man, and we were having a conversation. And then somehow the conversation went to, I'm doing this expo. I really want you to come. It's the very first one. I was like, okay, I'll show up. And
we are 12 years later.
12 years later, and then what has always gotten me was the fact that this man is doing this, realistically speaking, by himself. And he's pulling together people from a martial arts community, whether you do movies, you do stunts, or anything. He's pulling them all together to put them on this platform, saying, no, look, what you do matters. That you're not unseen, that you matter. And that the fact that, and just the circumstance that you happen to all be Black or Asian or Latino, that doesn't matter. The fact that the films that you're doing matters. And we cannot let what you're doing now go. But at the same time, the people that laid the way in the past, we cannot let that just be forgotten, because it plays a role. You'll see, like, everybody was with Marvel, everybody's with DC. You have these superheroes. Well, to some people, Ron Van Cleef is a hero. Timac is a hero. They were our introductions to cinema, not just heroes, to cinema. And I, like myself, I very well remember. Now, I couldn't see stuff like Three the Hard Way because my mom, her like, the content's a little too hard when you're a little kid. But I remember seeing quite clearly when I saw The Last Dragon. I was 15 years old in Irvington, the Castle Twin. I saw it with the Company of Wolves. I stuck around for Last Dragon, and I was blown away. I had never seen anything like that. I never seen us as a people represented so well on a screen before. That's amazing. And to this Hey, like you said, the Last Dragon is one of those movies that if you see it on TV, no matter what part it is, you sit there and you watch it to the end. You stop what you're doing. You say, "Oh, hold up! I need to see Bruce Leroy. I need to see him beat show enough. Even though I know what's coming, he ain't gonna lose. No, he gonna win. He gonna win."
Nah, I tell you, watching the youngins react to it, I get a kick out of that, to be honest with you. I sit there and watch, and it's almost like watching the movie again, but you're watching it with people who's never seen it. And you know how everyone gets that feeling when you show somebody a movie that they've never seen, and you're just like excited for them to see it. It gives you that feeling.
Wait to see this part. He's like, wait to see this part. This part coming.
And I want to say this, Demetrius, and I'm gonna get some more info on what's going on. But I just want to take a moment to give you some flowers, man, because I said at the top of the show, I've been involved with film festivals and things like that, and things that you're doing here, and it really, really is like a multiple person job. So for you to be putting this together at minimal, I'm sure you have a few people that helped you, but this is you. Like, you put this thing together, and I really want to say from here at Real Talk, that we're very proud of you, man, for doing what you're doing, and because this is not easy. I've seen film festivals put together from beginning to end, and I'm telling you, like a panel of 12, 15, 20 people that are working simultaneously on things to get this stuff together, to bring in sponsors, to bring in people who believe you, the actual celebrities or the talent. I mean, that is not easy, man. And you've been pulling it off for 12 years. So, I mean, congrats to you, man. We're very proud of you for that.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, God is good. His grace and his mercy endures forever.
Yes,
and
sir.
I was fortunate. Remember, I don't think you know that, but I started my first HBO commercial was because of Ron Van Cleef, who called me up. I started at HBO in '99. Y'all forget I was at HBO for.
I remember you worked there. I remember you was at
HBO. I'm telling on myself now. When
I met you, you were still at HBO, but I met you at Comic-Con.
Yeah,
that's where I first met you. Yeah,
yeah, because I was a filmmaker. Me and my partner Lamar Wingston, we were doing action films and making a change by making women the leads and that this, that, and the other, and diversity, because that was our focus, and training the actors and so forth. And fortunately, when I was at HBO, most of those executives were my clients, so they gave me the opportunity. They understood what I was saying, what was missing, and they gave me an opportunity. And gratefully, being a part of the martial arts community, there's a connection there, a camaraderie there that is not like anything else. Like, because it's based on like an honor and a respect kind of thing. You got to be in it to understand it. But either way, these are the people who back me. And all these people are martial artists. These people that I named, Fred Williamson, these are all black belts. Ron Van Cleef, Tamak, Michael Jai White, all these. Remember, the original action stars were martial artists. Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Shaw Brothers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Billy Jack McQuaid. All these people. Martial arts is the root of action cinema after your westerns. In America you had the westerns, but as soon as they saw what the Shaw Brothers doing, Billy Jack started kicking people. You know what I'm saying? And you see how they had to bring Bruce Lee over there for the Green Hornet and beat Robin's tail, didn't they? Just wore him out.
Oh, that was terrible. That was funny though. Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. There was no way Bruce Lee was gonna allow Robin to beat him.
We wasn't having that. But you know what? That's our people standing up for our culture and so forth. And I got a shout out to Warner Brothers, because you got to understand they were the first to give people that opportunity. 1973, Into the Dragon. That's the first action kung fu film, martial arts film by a major studio. You see what I'm saying? And then, you know, who you think financed all those blaxploitation films? Because they
Warner
saw
Brothers.
that they can exploit
Yeah,
and
exactly.
make money, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But the point is, Warner Brothers gave that opportunity, and they gave us the first opportunity for our black superheroes.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
Shall I
They
name
messing
them
up
all?
lately.
Should
They
I
messing
name
up
them all?
lately, but
What was
that's
the
true.
first one? Spawn.
Yeah.
Michael J. White. Second one.
Yeah.
Blade.
Blade.
That's
Now wait.
TriStar. That's not Marvel. Marvel
Now wait.
sold that.
Now wait a minute. Now I gotta ask this question. It's gonna sound like I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. We're sitting here saying that Spawn is the first one. Do you count, although they were comedic in nature, Meteor Man or Blank Man?
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Would you count them also?
Well, when I say superhero, I'm only talking about comic wise. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about, because if you want to really talk about it, it's going to be The Last Dragon. He's the first Super Saiyan. If you want to go there.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking about comic book wise.
Yeah.
When I say superhero.
Yeah. Bring in a superhero.
Spawn,
Bring in a black
Blade,
superhero.
Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Steel. That's Shaq.
I remember Steel. Yep, Shaq.
I remember Steel.
they was in the running. He only missed it by a month. If you look at when these things came out. So
yeah,
you know, you got to give it, you know, credit to where credit is due. But yeah, you know, we're making sure that we have a light on. We're a lighthouse for the unseen. And that's what we do. We shine a light on those who are least remembered and recognized. And we got to make sure. See, when people go to all those cons, you mentioned New York Comic Con, this, that, and other. Think about really what that is. That is a cultural celebration of their culture. That's why it's called popular culture. But where are we in that space? If we're not creating, if we're not trying to carve out a space of our own in those spaces, where are we in those spaces? In other words, who's telling our stories? They're not telling our stories because it's not their story to tell.
Not their stories. Yeah, exactly.
So we have to tell our stories. If not, somebody else will change our story.
The narrative. Yeah.
Their story. You know what I'm saying? And we can't.
Which has been done too many times.
Yeah, exactly. If there's no one to stop you, it's going to continue to be done.
Yeah. Well, when did you, just take us back real quick? When did you actually spawn the idea to do this expo? What do you know, like if you like when you was at HBO or?
Yeah, because I was a remember I was a filmmaker, and an actor.
You're still a filmmaker because you made films.
I did.
Spike Lee told me if you make a film, you're a filmmaker. So.
I understand. I was a if you really know me from back in the day, just look me up. I was like the Black Fabio. I did all those romance books back in the day because I had the long hair, you know, and so forth. But that was my end for being in action film because I wanted to do action films. Once I saw The Last Dragon, I was like, oh, I can definitely do this. So I was doing those B films, you know, straight to VHS back in those days. And that, like I said, my partner Lamar and I, we were, you know, doing the Comic Cons and stuff like that. But being at HBO, I saw that they had these film festivals like American Black Film Festival, Urban World Film Festival, all these particular film festivals that focused on a people, but never action. It's you all about drama, this, that, and other, but there was no space for the number one blockbuster genre. So I was like, okay, I see me making my films, it's just one person. And me being at Comic-Con, it's just me. If you remember, who else was doing that besides me and Lamar at Comic-Con? Nobody was putting us out there in an independent way.
That's what caught my eye the most, because when we're walking by, I'm like, oh man, there's two black guys over here, and they got this, you know, they got their whole thing set up. Because, you know, at that point, me being a filmmaker too, but I wanted to do comic because I was actually in the middle of creating my comic book. So when I saw you guys, it inspired me even more. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's crazy.
So in the midst of doing that and seeing how HBO had a certain focus, what happened was our Cinemax channel was changing from a acquisitions channel to a content creation channel, and it was all action on there. All the content was action. So I said, listen, what do you think about an action film festival focused on diversity? And because I love the atmosphere of how Comic-Con told stories, you know what I'm saying? How that convention told stories through these booths, through these experiences. I said, you know what? Let me combine that with action cinema. And it was also similar to something that I used to see on the brochures, but I hadn't gone to until later, which was Alan Goldberg's Martial Arts Mega Weekend.
Right.
And he used to have all the martial arts stars there. So I was like, let me focus on diversity, action cinema, and my route, which is the martial arts, and give and combine the Comic-Con atmosphere with the movie-going atmosphere. And that's how I did it. And in the following year, HBO was like, okay, we'll give you an opportunity to do it.
For the people who don't know, just give a quick visual of how this day is going to go down, because when you go on the website, you see things like Artist Alley and stuff like that. So it makes you feel like you said, you have those combinations. So we walk in. Yeah. What are we going to see?
First of all, shout out to our new home, Regal Times Square Theaters.
Yes.
We done crossed the Jordan. The promised land.
But before you go into that, why did you cross? Why did you change
we ain't
to
gonna
a
talk
Regal?
about why I crossed over. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you always honor where you started. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it honorable. But sometimes in life, you wear out the welcome, and people don't honor you anymore. You want to go where you are honored and respected and wanted. Sometimes you got to go where you want it. And when I went to Regal, I was actually negotiating with them for actually 2 years, but they were under construction. They just finished construction this year. If y'all really think about it, they just finished this April. So I was like, okay, now it's my opportunity to move on and move out and move up. I feel like the Jeffersons. And so when you walk into Regal, you'll see our wonderful staff greeting you. And if you whatever tickets you've bought, you'll get your passes and so forth. When you go up to the main floor by the concessions area, you're going to see our green screen augmented reality experiences where you can be inside of different films and so forth. To the left of that, you'll see exhibitors. But when you go to the top floor, you'll see all our celebrity guests and 6 theaters that you can go and watch films from 18 countries around the world, action films from our International Action Film Festival, as well as the anniversary films. For those who bought various packages like The Last Dragon, VIP packages, Ultimate VIP, you get, swag like these medallions, you get these scarves and stuff like that. It's like commemorative items, and you get those things. And at the most of all, you get a lot of love, because we have an environment of love. It's like a family reunion where you got all the family members you like. You got Uncle Junior, you got Aunt Kate, you got your cousin Shaniqua and all them there. And everybody's having a good time because everybody loves the cinema and television, and they love to remember, and everybody gets to remember together.
Now with that being said, what's our kung fu? Because that's the main reason why I go. I go because I'm the Shaw Brother freak.
Kung Fu Hustle. The Kung Fu films.
But I know
this
Kung Fu.
year.
I can't wait to see that
Kung
again.
Fu Hustle.
Yeah,
We're doing the Matrix
I've never seen that
in
on screen.
4DX. So we have the
Oh.
largest 4DX theater in the world.
Oh,
So we're
that's
doing
going to be in 4DX?
Yeah, Matrix 25th
Yeah.
anniversary screening in 4DX.
Nice.
We got the Black Dragon for Kung Fu, and we got Black Belt Jones for Kung Fu.
Nice.
So those are the Kung Fu flicks for this year.
Oh, man.
Kung Fu Hustle. That movie was so good, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Oh, man.
for the
So this
retro
is gonna
for
be
the
nice.
retro movies, you have obviously Blade Trinity for the 20th,
Yep.
and you have Street Fighter 30th.
Wow. I can't even believe like these films, it's been that long since, like since they come out. Because I mean, they all are very, 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 very prominent in my head. You know what I mean? So it's just like, probably because I saw them a gazillion times, but I mean, for it to be that long and getting that opportunity. Now, one of my favorites, The Warriors. That was
Yes,
one
sir.
of my favorite
The Warriors,
movies
and it'll
of
be a
all
cast
time.
commentary screening. So the cast
Okay.
will comment on like both actually The Last Dragon and The Warriors are cast commentary screenings because these are such classics. Everybody knows the lines, everybody
Yeah.
knows, but no one knows what happened behind the scenes. So now
Yeah.
the cast, we're going to actually share a lot of the behind the scene moments to make it a lot more intimate because everyone knows the lines.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's
knows
true.
the lines. And
Know
so
what the
now
sound
everybody
bite.
can find out what the young people call the T,
The T, yeah. I guess the
what's going
T,
on.
everything that
The
happened behind the
backstage
scenes.
stuff.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be really cool. So now you say commentary screening. So are they gonna watch the film with the audience, or is it just gonna be
Yes,
like a
they're watching it
Q&A?
with the audience and commenting on the scenes as they see it.
Oh, so it's going to be like
Oh,
it's going to be
It's
like
live.
whatchamacallit, like
Mystery Science Theater.
Mystery Science Theater, yeah.
Well, we're not
yeah.
So
going
they
to
could
stop the film. It's going to keep going, but they're going to say,
keep
"Hey,
going.
on this scene, this is what happened." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
after the films are done, we're doing a 30-minute Q&A.
Oh man,
That's gonna be
great.
awesome.
That's gonna be a great experience, man. I mean, these are experiences, and I have to give you credit again, man. These are experiences that aren't like at your typical film festival. They do have Q&As, but I've never seen them really do in that fashion that you're talking about, the commentary and stuff like that. Because, like you said, these classics, we all know. We've seen them a gazillion times. We know. I told you. I just saw The Last Dragon like a week ago. You know what I mean? So it's fresh in my mind again. So you go there. Yeah, I mean, that's really awesome. So that's going to happen for The Last Dragon and for
The Warriors.
The Warriors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's
Tell you, man, y'all need to be there Saturday. It's gonna be fun.
This Saturday, November 9th, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
To 5 is all the meet and greets, right?
Right.
From 10:30 to midnight are all films. If you go to urbanactionshowcase.com and click events, you'll see the schedule for all of the films. So you'll make sure that you make the ones that you want to see. But general admission gets you in to all films except for the Last Dragon cast commentary screening. So basically, you can see everything for a general admission price.
Wow. That's
and
crazy.
experience.
And the tickets, you can buy tickets right there on the website.
Yep.
You can try. I noticed that one of the things you mentioned though is sold out. The ultimate.
The ultimate VIP is sold out because it came with the white party. The white party is commemorating the last scene of The Last Dragon, celebrating 50 years of action cinema and pop culture. So that last scene in The Last Dragon, you had the white party. So we wanted to close it down like that, but it was limited in space. So unfortunately, that's not available anymore. And that's Blade Trilogy. We that's not Trinity. That's Trilogy. That's
no. There's a reason why I'm holding this up.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm holding this up, when I came, because I would break my neck after I came to the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I would break my neck to get out to this one. At this one, I lost my right pinky toe.
What?
Because I was rushing out the door to get to run because I was going to miss the train to get out there to get out to the city on time because I did not want to miss this blade. And I crashed my toe against the door jamb.
Oh no!
And I just and I stuffed I stuffed my foot inside of my shoe and just went on about my day. Came out there, did whatever. Came home. Long story short, I went to the hospital for them to check my toe. When I came home, I realized my toe was bleeding, and I went to the hospital for them to check my toe, whatever. And the lady gave me the wrong wound care and told me I could keep wearing shoes or whatever. And I should have been in a boot instead of wearing shoes. I should have been in like a medical boot. And I ended up having to I ended up getting MRSA and having to have my toe amputated.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But all because I wanted to be, all because I was not missing my train to come out to be at the Urban Action Film Festival.
Oh,
That's dedication.
No, that's dedication. Right
That's dedication.
I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah. Nah, man, but that's so now I saw that on some of the guest lists, my man.
And I won that. Sorry, Wes, I don't mean to cut you off. I won that Blade Trinity. I was the first winner of the prize when they had the Blade Q&A when they were doing the questions in the beginning. That's how I got this.
Thank God you got something for it.
You got something out of it.
It ain't worth your toe, but you got some.
You got my man from Reggie.
Yep.
From
Bad Boys 4. He'll be in the house. He's getting the Phoenix Award doing the Behind the Action Awards. He's getting the Rising Star Phoenix Award for his role in breakout role in Bad Boys 4.
Oh man, and that was awesome. His scene was
that scene was crazy.
Amazing. His scenes was amazing. I didn't even realize till like near the end of the movie that it's the same kid from the earlier movie. Yeah, I was like, yo, that's the kid that they were heckling at the door. Didn't even realize that was him. Same guy. That's what's up. Who else? Who else, man? You got a lot of people lined up here. I saw you. We talked about this right before you came on with Samantha from WWE. Well, she used to be in the WWE.
Yeah. She'll be there. Her and her husband will be there because they love The Last Dragon. So a lot of people will be in the house. But unfortunately, guys, I gotta jump.
Yeah, I know you have that, but just we'll definitely continue to promote it, man. Make sure people go out and check it out. It's going to be happy. It's going on this Saturday, the 9th.
Yes, sir. Regal Times Square Theaters.
Regal Times Square Theater.
You can get tickets at the door also. They're gonna cost you a little bit more, but if you buy it, you still got time to buy it online.
That's what's up. We'll drop the link in the chat room for everybody. We appreciate you, Demetrius, man. Do your thing.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations again, man.
Yes. See you
Saturday. Have a good show.
See you Saturday. Saturday.
Saturday, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Later. That's okay. I don't mind. I can catch a sleep on the catch a couple of Z's on the train or something. That's okay.
Oh, it's a full day, bro.
It's a full day. But you know what? But it's gonna be a good full day. It's gonna be a good
for people like you. It's gonna go fast. Like the day's gonna go fast because that's the sad part, because you're gonna be all over the place. You're gonna be getting pictures, you're gonna be talking to people, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be everywhere. You're gonna be watching films. It's gonna go fast, even though it's an all-day thing.
Yeah. I'm hoping two people particularly show up. I'm hoping that Amy Jo Johnson shows up. I need to see it. Yes, and another young lady who I'm not gonna say her name, but Lord, gorgeous. It's too bad Anita's not coming because I know she just had the baby, so I know if she came, it was surprising. If Anita Clay, who was a guest on our show, showed up.
Yeah, I remember.
That was surprising because she just had a baby. She just had a baby, so I'm not expecting her to come.
Yeah. That's gonna be cool, man. See the watch the Warriors with the cast. That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. And of course, The Last Dragon with the cast. And I see they got Ty Mock, they got Mike Starr, they got Chris Murney, who's that's Eddie Arcadian, right? Yeah, I think that's him.
It's Eddie Arcadian.
Glenn Eaton is Johnny, the one who mastered the art of fighting without knowing how to fight. He's gonna be there. Oh, okay. Lisa Loving Dalton. She was one of Shonuff's girls. At first, I thought it was old girl, but it's not her. This is one of. She was one of the, one of the Shonuff women.
Shonuff girls. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure who Rudy C. Jones is. I didn't want to go. I knew he had a lot. I knew that Demetrius didn't have a lot of time, so I
Rudy C. Jones.
Rudy C. Jones. He's listed in The Last Dragon, but I can't see who his name.
I think he's one of the Sukiyaki Soup guys that was singing the song.
Well, the one who I know the two, those guys are over here. Michael Chin and Henry Yuk, but they actually canceled. They're canceled. But maybe he was one of them too. He might have been one of the other ones. There was 3 of them, so he might be. He might be
the third one.
Yeah, and then Kirk Taylor. He looks familiar. Which one is he? Oh, he was one of the Shonuff guys too. I think he's the dude. Yeah, no. Beast was the black
Crunch.
Guy. Crunch, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's Crunch. Look at that. We just know their names. Crunch.
He's Crunch, yeah. The one who, that was one of the most unnecessary moves in movie history when he kicked the door when they oh man, that was so unnecessary. They walked out after they trashed the place. He just said, and just kicked it and kept walking. Like, that was so bad. Like, that was funny because I have to say this. I was watching, these people that was watching it, and the funny thing was, they made a great commentary on it. They said up until this point, they said this scene had to happen. He said, because up until this point, I liked Shonuff. It was like, because, he was just amusing, the whole little get up and him doing this, like it was up until this point. This scene had to happen because now you do not like Shonuff. You know what I'm saying? Because now you went in and you tore up the damn pizza place, and these people don't have nothing to do with it. Nope. He pushed those limits, so that's why he said, now he's got to fight me. You know what I mean? So that was that's even after he tried to make him bow down, or he did make him bow down and stuff. That's after that. Even after that, you see Shonuff, you kind of laugh a little, but you don't feel like you don't like him. After that scene, people got the feeling like, I don't like this guy, So that's cool. I thought that was pretty cool that the youngsters pointed that out, because they were amused by him through the whole movie up until that point. Like, oh man,
when I get there, because a couple months ago, Demetrius had me on his panel for this, and I was watching Tamron Hall and the comedian Cole. I forget his last name. Deion Cole. That one year he went out for Halloween dressed as Shonuff.
Yeah, he actually looked like him too.
Right, and we had talked about the idea of, could The Last Dragon should it be either a sequel or a reboot? And I said it needs to be a sequel. But but this was then later on I saw that when I was like, could he be like Shonuff's son, who's taking out Bruce Leroy's son with Lord Charles or some kind of way? Because he just looked too much like him to not
did look
be.
A lot. He looked a lot like him especially when he dressed up like
And he sounds like him too. That's the thing. He looked like him. He sounds like him.
Yeah, he
He's
did.
almost like a carbon copy.
Did it. He did a great job at that. But I'm telling you, man, this is going to be, once again, people. It's going down this weekend on the 9th, November 9th, Saturday. What is it? Regal Cinemas and
Regal Cinemas, 42nd Street, 42nd and 8th. Please show up.
Wow, Times Square.
Like I said, we are going to have a ball. I'm telling you, if you're a fan of action movies, you're a fan of martial arts, you're a fan of black cinema, come to Regal Cinemas on Saturday. Just come. And bring stuff for people to sign. If you got The Last Dragon in your inventory, and if you're black, you should.
And let's not forget, I mean, he mentioned their names, but he did not say, for the people who may not know the names of the actors, Good Times. These are the kids from Good Times. He said Bernadette Stanis and Ralph Carter. That is Michael Evans and Thelma Evans from Good Times. So, I mean, come on out, meet them. And Bernadette Stanis is still fine to this day.
I got to get a picture with her.
You gotta get a picture with her.
I got to get a picture with her.
You gotta get a picture with her, man. And yeah, man. If you get an opportunity, definitely get that picture, man. I'd love to get them on.
Well, I'm taking all the pictures for this event, so yeah, I'm gonna get the opportunity. Somebody
gotta get that.
Somebody gonna hit that button for me.
Somebody better get on this bit. Make sure you get somebody. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, hey, shout out to my brother. I love him to death. He's happy birthday, but he's the worst picture taker. Like, I used to be out there taking pictures, and then we hand the camera to him. You know, if it's like a professional camera or something like that, he don't know how to use it. He taking a picture of your ear, you know.
Nah, I'm gonna tell a person.
Next thing you know, all you see is this, my eye. I'm like, yo, I'm in a picture with so and so. You see the eye. I'm like, bro, you're the worst picture taker, man. Here I am taking a gazillion pictures of you with all these celebrities. It's time for you to snap a picture of me, and it's a terrible.
I can't do it.
So make sure you give it to somebody that be able to.
Oh, I will. I'm definitely gonna take care of that. We're not even having those problems. Like, no, I need you to take this picture for me, and you better make it look good. Because if you don't look good, you know you in a room full of martial artists, right? We know we could all fuck you up, right? you know this, right?
So
you know what's gonna happen to you.
Like, turn on sick the dogs on them. Yeah. So you got them in there. He said Reggie from Bad Boys coming through. The Warriors. It looks like they got. Who's that? Oh yeah. Well, they put up there in Love and Memory, of course. Who we just lost him. And yeah, there's still a few of them in there that's coming. So I'm not sure. I meant to ask him, who is this female? DD Beverly. I don't know who that is, because
she's one. I think she's one of the girls when they brought the girl.
One of the Lizzies. One of the Lizzies. Maybe she was one of the Lizzies. Yeah,
I think she's one of the Lizzies.
Okay. That was so you're the famous Warriors, huh? The guys who shot Cyrus. The chicks are packed. The chicks are packed. Yo, that was my movie, man. That was my movie. And that scene was crazy because remember he hits her with the chair.
Yeah.
Bong, and then with the chair, yo, they were fighting for their
They were
lives,
getting out of
man.
there.
They was fighting for their lives, yo. They had to get out of there. Okay, so yeah, I think she's a Lizzie. DD Benry. That's her. She's one of the Lizzies. There was quite a few of them, and they were all. That was funny. That was great, though. Great film.
I'm guessing if it's Dee Dee, that's the black girl with the curly hair.
Probably
so.
so. Yeah. Yeah. Probably Dee Dee. She looks like she's No, actually, this one is the one who was like, she was one of the three that was there when they first picked him up. She looked like she was like his like Latina or something, or Italian. That's what she kind of looked like when they showed. She had the
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
wavy,
about. Yeah, yeah,
long wavy hair with the scarf around her neck.
yeah.
She was a cutie too. Yeah, she was a cutie. Yeah, that's her. That's yo,
And like
man. Once
and like
again,
I and
every year.
like I always say, listen, even though they have listed down here people that are going to be guests, at times people that are in the community just show up and they just you
Yeah.
like, oh my god, that's so and so, that's so and so, that's so take what's down here as the people are going to be here, but also who's just going to be in the area and just show up. You never know.
That's true.
You never know. Could
That's true.
I mean this New York City? Could Lucy Liu show up? Because she is from New York. Maybe. Who
Never know.
knows? And I mean they're
It's New
having
York
this.
City, bro. It's on the best
Yeah.
stage. It's on the biggest stage. It's at Times Square. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna get a lot of attention. So, it's a perfect storm for Demetrius and his team to be there at Times Square. It's going to get attention, man. So you're going to
Yeah.
have some stragglers. You're going to have some wanderers, just kind of, no pun intended. You got the wanderers and then the warriors, right? You're going to have some wanderers that come up in there. And who knows? You may have a wanderer or two come up in there.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
a
never
ducky
know.
boy.
Especially now that actors are back to work and New York City people are working. Hey,
Yeah.
you never know who just gonna just throw it because even though it's a martial art community, all the people involved are part of the movie community. So
Yeah.
say, hey, listen, if you're not doing it on Saturday, I'm gonna be over here. Why don't you come over here and check and just say, like, why don't you go in here and check it out? Just see what it's about. So you never know. You just might walk in like shit. You might walk in. Maybe you would see Wesley Snipes walking through. You'd be like, oh, whoa, yeah, it's really Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
really
he was
Blade.
there. Well, he was there the one year they celebrated him.
He had. I think that's still on Demetrius's wish list is for Wesley Snipes to come. He actually.
No, I thought he came that one year. He came one year.
Nah, he can't. Now he come to Comic-Con. He did not come to Urban Action Showcase. No, but Demetrius was well on his way to getting at the time his dream guest, which was Chadwick Boseman. He had met him. We had met him. Well, he was at Urban World Film Festival, and Demetrius he's like Ralph, I'm gonna go meet him. That's the child. And I was like, Dad, I had to sit on the red carpet. So he actually met him. I did not meet him, but I know he was working to get him to come to Urban Action Showcase, right?
Oh, I'm thinking about Michael Jai White. That's who.
Oh
came.
No,
Yeah,
Michael Jai White. I mean, he's not that, but he just might come. Maybe him and the Mrs. Michael Jai White show. I met her before. I didn't know that was the girl from the LL Cool J lounging video. I was like, oh, I mean, not lounging, Hey Lover video.
Well, yeah.
I was like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be as usual, a great thing. Go by urbanactionshowcase.com. They got merch going on. Like, yo, you might want to grab one of these. This merch they got here look like a jersey type of deal that's got all types of stuff on the back and the front too. They got Last Dragon jacket. That looks crazy. It's like a warm-up jacket, almost like the Bruce Lee, but it's not yellow. Like the Bruce Lee suit he had on. Yeah, it looks this looks really cool, man. You're gonna have some great time there.
Yeah.
Make sure you stop by, check everybody out. Ralph will be walking around with his camera. So you know what I'm saying?
No stunt dummy this
ready.
year. I'm not doing no stunt dummies work this year. No.
Be camera ready. Don't come up in there. Look your best. Look your action movie best. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be crazy. The Warriors, Street Fighter, Last Dragon, Kung Fu Hustle.
The Matrix. That I mean, 4K. Whoa.
Yeah, The Matrix. The Blade Trinity. I mean, they are just. It's gonna be a great time. You can't ask for more than that. So I'm going to.
I just hate there's not going to be no Shaw Brother movies this year.
No.
That's the only thing I'm going to miss. That's the only thing I'm going to miss about the AMC. Because with the AMC, they had enough theaters where they could still show old karate flicks on top of everything else that they would show.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just I don't know, we may have probably have all seen the trailer for it. I'm gonna still show the trailer. So Marvel Studios, a look ahead on Disney Plus. They did a trailer for their upcoming television series and shows, all of the MCU stuff. So
It's
let's.
not just television shows, it's everything. It's cartoons, it's movies, it's
Well,
all of
yeah,
that.
yes, it's their animation movie. I didn't see any of the movies. Everything there, it seemed like Disney
No, they had the movies
Plus
in there.
television stuff. But yeah, so let me just I'm gonna show that real quick, and then we can commentate on it.
This must be a different one because the one I saw had everything.
Oh, I smell what you're stepping in. It's gonna get good. It's been some time, hasn't it? You've come up in the world. I can say the same about you. I wonder if your darker half would agree. Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you? A really good one.
This me.
Oh!
I want to build something undeniable.
Anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done.
But for an adventure, the battle they will sing about for ages.
You can slate whenever you're ready.
Simon Williams, reading for Wonder Man. I was born to play this character. And we both have a lot riding on this. You better not mess this up. I know.
I am ready.
I am Marvel Jesus. We have a long road ahead of us. Much to do.
Oh my God!
All right.
That's pretty
So-
good. I never saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I mean, it was pretty much everything that's coming to Disney Plus from Marvel. On this particular trailer, they're talking about the anime. There's a lot of animation, and then their TV shows, and then of course Deadpool Wolverine, which is, I think it's already streaming now, or it's about to be streaming this month.
Yeah.
On there. So yeah, this looks interesting, man. I mean, I am so ready for Daredevil, man. Like I almost feel like, come on, drop it already. You know, it's you know, they just had a really good positive run with Agatha all along. It's gotten a lot of good feedback, reviews, and it was just from what I hear, I haven't watched it yet. I was waiting on it to finish so I can binge it. And I'm hearing a lot of good things. What it seems like, and even with this lineup, other than the animated stuff, it looks like they're trying to hit you on the ground level of superheroes, not so super and, you know, godlike heroes. they're trying to hit you with the more grounded, on the ground level heroes. You got Daredevil, right? Who's gritty, definitely. So people love that. Ironheart looks like she's in her beginnings, so she's that's gonna be probably the most, maybe not, I don't say most powerful, but Wonder Man. You got all these things that are attacking. They seem to try to see that attacking from that ground level, people are starting to appreciate more. They're not like they're trying to train you to look for the super duper stuff in the movies. On television, you're gonna get the stuff that's still good stories. You're gonna see, they'll probably reserve that more for the heroes that don't have, you know, not as the youngins say, OP, overpowered, where they just straight, what's the point of having them in the show?
Right.
They was able to tame Wanda with that because she was one of those characters. Wanda is so powerful, but because they had wrote a really good story, psychologically she was broken and emotionally she was broken. So they were able to craft a nice story around her OP, her being so powerful. But it looks good. What if I see that? What if I saw a picture of What If where Storm, who might be the first X-Men that's makes an appearance in What If in season 3. So that's going to be interesting. Because remember, What If has only done stuff of MCU characters. So having having Storm being in What If, it's going to spark a lot of questions. It's going to spark, not questions, but spark a lot of, intrigue. Who are they getting to voice it? Is it going to be the woman that's voicing it for the X-Men 97? Who is the original one who voiced from the X-Men cartoon? That woman is still voicing. She did it for they brought her back for X-Men 97, and I won't be surprised if they bring her back to do this What If one. But the funny thing is, normally it's the person, well, not yeah, most of the time they try to get the person that plays the character in live action to voice them on What If. They couldn't do it with Robert Downey Jr., but they did get a lot of them. I don't think they got Chris Pratt either, but they got Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. He had voiced T'Challa. Um, they had I think even Chris Evans had did one season, I thought. Um, Obviously, Captain Carter, she did hers. They had quite a few of them. Thor did his. Chris Hemsworth did Thor. Benedict Cumberbatch did Doctor Strange. He voiced that, I believe. Loki. He voiced Tom Hiddleston. So they had quite a few people come back, and then you have people like Lupita. I think she might have made I don't know if she did it, but no, not her. The Naya Guerrero. She voiced her character. So they did a few. They did a few. They got everyone back that they could. He was only missing a few of the big heads. I don't know if Scarlett Johansson did hers. I think she might have did it one season. But anyway, normally you get the person who plays the character in live action to kind of voice it. And yeah, I'm just trying to spark some intrigue. But whoever this picture is, this drawing of her looks badass. This picture that I was just looking at, where it's a picture of Storm. It's a picture of Storm holding Mjolnir, which is, interesting. Everybody picking up Millionaire now. If you worthy, you picking it up. So that shit. What did you think of that, Ralph? What you think of that trailer?
I was very impressed. I was like, okay, I'm certainly like with you. I'm Daredevil because I finally got the chance to watch Daredevil just before Disney. Netflix yanked it off. I was able to get it all in, and I was like, wow, this show was amazing.
It really
and
was.
and honestly, that's what really started making me change my opinion of Netflix because, like I said before, I really thought Netflix was like old TV shows. They just went there. I didn't realize they had so much at that time. Had so much original content. But after watching, I was like, wow, that and Jessica Jones. I love the two. And the other ones I hadn't seen, but I love Daredevil.
Yeah.
Well,
you'll be happy to know that the young lady who's playing Jessica Jones, she agreed to come back. She's going to be back. She might actually appear in Daredevil.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Daredevil Born Again. Yeah.
I mean, it all looks good. I'm somewhat kind of curious as to what the next Marvel movie is, which is February. What direction they're gonna start going in? Are they going to actually tie the TV series and the movie series together in some kind of way? Like just put like whether it's a total tie or sprinkle just pieces of DNA in it to say, hey, this still exists too, and it plays a role in this.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward.
They're gonna try to keep a continuity. They're not gonna put it to the point where they end up shooting themselves in the foot like what they did with Secret Invasion, where you had to break the budget to get the big names to be in it, and now you have to all of these effects that they had to do, and it was a disaster.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they had to put all their money to make sure their budgets were covered, and they didn't take care of the story. You know, so that which I think they're gonna just keep a continuity, but keep these shows as ground level as possible, so it's just more engaging. People just be like, oh, okay, so you can still feel like you have a separate thing, but they will keep a continuity and mention things, and things that happen in the movies may affect, but it all depends because it's how you tell the story, right? So if you come back, let's just say Fantastic Four, whatever movie happens, even if it's Secret Wars, stuff happens there, but when you come back to the television, it may be in season 2 and none of that stuff has happened yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they'll go back and tell from the continuity of the show. So it all depends, right? So but they are going to keep acknowledgement of the continuity, so
yeah, so I'm a little excited. Marvel been. I mean, let's be real. Marvel has slipped the last couple of years. Some of the stuff has not been the greatest, but they always got the chance. It hasn't got to the point that says, "Oh, this is everything you putting out lately is crap." I mean, some stuff you put out and say, "Yeah, this is crap," but then you give me something else and say, "Oh, this is pretty good." So having a point to say, "Well, everything you putting out right now is crap." So we shall see. We shall see. There's always one. Just like I say, don't be DC. Just don't be DC. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Right. You got DC coming out with Creature Commandos, and and I, like I said, I've never been a fan of. See, James Gunn is in a way smart by he do these things because he doesn't set big expectations, because he always takes on projects of characters that are like B characters in the comics and stuff like that. So like the expectation is not high. So if it's a good film, it actually only has to be a decent film, and everyone's gonna think it's a great film because they didn't expect it to be that good. So he did that with Guardians of the Galaxy, which Guardians of the Galaxy, they weren't B characters, but at the same time, they were not a characters. They was not a brand or a title
household name
that you actually that you thought they were gonna make a movie for. He pulled it off. He pulled it off correctly, and so that's what it is. So now you got Creature Commandos, which is pretty much the same as the Suicide Squad. It's like the same story, really. They're just like another Suicide Squad. So I wasn't really happy by hearing that. His big whatever you want to call it audition is, you know,
Superman.
Superman. The Superman movie. You know, he's got a lot of things going on there, and the whole promise of whatever you're promising. And I mean, I think I personally think he's doing exactly what everyone was criticizing the DCEU for. Like, why do you have all these characters in Superman? You know, potential Justice League characters. And on top of that, you go ahead, if you're going to put Justice League characters, why are you grabbing the B team? Once again, the B team. I mean, you know, people get mad. Oh, how's Supergirl and Green Lantern? Well, yeah, it's Green Lantern's not B team, but this Green Lantern, what's his name?
What, Hal?
No, it's
No,
not
Jordan?
Hal Jordan. It's not Hal Jordan, and it's not John Stewart. It's the other one. It's the third one. I can't think. Kyle Rayner. No, it's not even Kyle Rayner. It's the other one. So that's what I'm saying. He's picking. Yeah, I can't. Which I gotta look up the name. I mean, he's a known one, but I'm just like, bruh, why pick him? Guy Gardner. That's the one. Guy Gardner, Green Lantern. He's the one with that stupid bowl haircut. I never liked the way that character looked. I'm like, yo, this is just stupid. I hate it. Even in the comics, I'm like, why does he got a haircut like that? You know, he's a different one. You know, a little more hot headed, stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not. We'll see. But you pick Guy Gardner instead of. I know that they're supposed to be doing a Green Lantern show, and that's going to feature Hal Jordan and John Stewart. So maybe they didn't want to bring him in to. So they go with okay, fine. So you got Guy Gardner, you got Supergirl, but then you have Mr. Terrific, not Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Terrific, who is a cool character, but he's definitely B or C team Justice League. And then you got Hawk Girl. Okay. I don't know. Like I said, it was just, to me, I'm like, why you got all of these characters in here when that was the biggest complaint that people were making about what the DCEU did by doing the Justice League before doing their separate films. So here you are doing a Superman movie now, and you got all these cameos from Justice League characters. We'll have to see. I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on it, but that is definitely gonna be his end all be all. If that movie does not, no pun intended, I was gonna say if that movie does not fly, no pun intended. Pun intended. If that movie doesn't fly, Gunn is finished before he even gets started.
Yep.
But I think it will do decent only because he's, the whole bring back the Boy Scout Superman, so that whole thing, he's got Crypto, the super dog in the movie. Like you trying to bring it back to it's a bird, it's a plane, I'm like, people want to see the Homelander. That's what they want to see. They don't want to see the bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. But I digress. We'll see. We'll see.
The only thing DC got good going on right now is Penguin.
Right, they have the Penguin show. That's obviously a spinoff show from. But see, now this is the problem I'm having with Warner Brothers. Of course, they are losing their minds, man. Now they feel like, okay, you made $1 billion with the first Joker, so you come back and go crazy and do some damn musical Joker, which bombed terribly.
Bombed.
Right.
Wait,
And then you like, oh,
Wes, did you see that? It's not even in the top 20 this week. They just took their losses and yanked it out. It's
yeah,
like,
it's
wow.
just there at this point. But I mean, they're talking about, oh, there's this so and so movie, and Sony's following suit with it too. Okay, we got Venom, and this is supposed to be like whatever movie, and it did decent. But anyway, they got Kraven the Hunter coming out. Now they're talking about doing some other Spider-Man. I'm like, why you keep doing all these Spider-Man villains and you don't have Spider-Man nowhere in sight? Like, it don't even make sense to me. But everyone wants to do villain movies now. They want to do these villains. As I think DC has a couple of other villains lined up that they want to do. And I'm just like,
I heard they want.
bro.
I don't know if it's true, but someone said that he had heard they wanted to do a Zod movie. I was like, a Zod movie? No.
How can you do a Zod movie? Now, you can do a Zod movie without Superman because he lived a whole life before Superman was even Superman. But why?
Exactly.
We saw Zod's origin in Man of Steel. You know what I'm saying?
No, and they already did that with the Krypton show, which they stupidly didn't continue. I don't know why they stopped that show. That show was good.
Yeah, so they kind of did that, but so now they're talking about doing. Oh, nah, leave that alone, man. Are you trying anything right now? Like, relax. Like, do something else. You want to do something? Do the on the ground level. Do the gritty characters. Do freaking well, they did do Batwoman, and that didn't last. Do one of the gritty characters, man. Go.
And that's
man.
that's with both girls. Ruby Rose punked out because she got tired of doing stunts, and I think she hurt her back. She hurt her back or something.
Yeah,
I heard she really fucked that back up. I heard
She
it was
really got
messed
hurt.
up.
Yeah.
But I mean, Warner Brothers, I said it. I said it when we talked about Joker last week. You need to yank Joker out and put in that Batgirl movie. I think I really want to see this thing now. I mean, it can't be any worse than Joker. It can't be.
I know. And you got Michael Keaton in it. Michael Keaton came back and made him be in it. So how bad can it be? And you might as well put it out there. What do you got to lose? You got everything to gain and nothing to lose because everyone already knows you yanked it because you thought it was bad. So then you have nothing to lose at this point. You might as well show it and put it on HBO Max or something, or sell it, license it to Netflix and just try to make a few bucks off of it.
Exactly.
So, they got all of these movies supposedly they try to do so why not do something gritty or do like a Nightwing movie or something like, or I mean show or something like that. Keep it gritty. Dick Grayson, when he finally separates from Batman and he got a whole nother story. Goes out on his own. He's got a whole nother story. Like, you could do something gritty like that, or if you're gonna take one of the other characters. I mean, they did the Green Arrow show on the WB, so that was a great show, ran for several seasons. That was cool, but take a gritty character, man. Or if you're gonna do, or you know what, since Agatha did so well, which normally, statistically, movies and shows that deal with witchcraft and stuff like that, they do fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
So why not do a Zatanna film? Or Zatanna a show? The character Zatanna, who is
you could hook it in with Batman a little bit, a little Batman DNA in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, why not do that? Talk about Zatanna. And I remember one time, I think Kev, you was the one talking about it with me. I was like, yo, I should try to write something for that.
Mm-hmm.
Zatanna, because Zatanna is very powerful. If you look up her skill set, her power set, it rivals the Scarlet Witch. Like, her power set is she does she could do almost everything the Scarlet Witch could do. The only problem is she has to say incantations. That's the only thing with her. That's why she wouldn't beat the Scarlet Witch, because she'll do her just like that Black Bolt and take her mouth away. But before she can say her incantations and stuff. But you could do a gritty on the ground level Zatanna film, because she kind of can be posing as, because that's what she does. Her act, quote unquote, is like she's like a magician with a top hat and the whole nine and the little sexy suit outfit on, and she's like, when she's not fighting crime, she's dazzling people with her magic show, and people just think she's just a great magician, but she really is she's more of a sorceress. She's not a magician.
But
So
they may do it because I don't know where they're at with Constantine, but I know they were supposed to be doing another Constantine with Keanu Reeves.
with Keanu, yeah, they were gonna do another concert. So I mean, Zatanna would be great. Zatanna would be a great addition to that stuff. You want to do that? Do dark, gritty stuff like that. That would be
It's something different.
ideal. Do something different, man. Because hey, they might though. They might, now that they see how good Agatha all along went. Because I mean, if you look, okay, WandaVision was kind of destined to do pretty good anyway. It's Wanda. It's this and that. So you got two Avengers basically. This show was based on, and it was done so well written with the sitcoms and all of that stuff. Backdrop. So we knew that. But Agatha all along, no one knew where this was going and how good or bad it would be. And people, I'm hearing nothing but good stuff about it. And they're
Yeah, I haven't
loving
seen it yet.
No, me neither. I think it's finally done. So
It's
now,
done.
yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go check it out and really and it's got some nice ties to I know, unfortunately, I found out a lot of stuff about it, but it does have some good ties to the MCU itself, and Wanda
But
and everything.
it's a part of the MCU. It is. It's
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is part of the MCU, but I mean, the MCU is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that's like the movies, really. So, but it's
but
it's
it's
part of it.
still
So,
but it's still going to be tied to it because the characters are tied to
yeah.
it. Oh well,
Yeah.
I'm giving it away now. So
yeah, but I got you. So, that's what I mean. That's the whole point. So, I'm hearing some really good things about it, and I just think overall the writing, the acting, everything was good on it from what I hear. So, you finally, I think people are liking the idea. That's why the Daredevil, even when it was over on Netflix, those series did well, because people love the idea of watching a on the ground level superhero who isn't so super. I mean, he's super to a degree, but isn't like so super. He's like a regular guy, but he has those heightened senses. It didn't get super until you got to Luke Cage. Well, no, Jessica Jones too, and she has the super
yeah,
ability.
Jessica Jones was super first.
Yeah, he got that super ability. That strength, and then Luke Cage, who cameoed in the first season of Jessica Jones, and then when that got everybody excited for when that dropped. So people loved it. I know I loved those Netflix shows. Didn't like
Yeah.
Iron Fist. I didn't like Iron Fist, but I did like the rest of them. And it was like, fighting
No,
people like the
I
Kingpin.
like the one Iron Fist when him and Luke Cage got together.
Oh yeah, that episode. Yeah,
that episode was dope.
that was a good episode when you finally had Iron Fist and Power Man. You know what I mean? You finally had them together in an episode, And I was cool with the Defenders when they all came together and stuff like that.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I didn't like, because them calling them the Defenders. Because if anybody knew, from the comic book, the original Defenders was Doctor Strange, um,
Yeah.
Son of Satan,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Son of Satan. I think the Incredible Hulk, maybe Namor.
Hulk was definitely in it. But I mean, they were a faction, like they were a version of the Defenders. It just wasn't the original.
Yeah, but it wasn't like the comic book though. The comic book Defenders, that's
Well,
even though
if they would
the
have
show.
did the comic book, if they would have did it like that, then it loses the gritty on the street level characters. You know what I mean? So I mean, they could have
No,
just
it
called them something
wouldn't have.
else, but
They could have called it
it
something
does.
else. It didn't have to be Defenders. It could
But I
still
mean,
been, because even with Doctor Strange, even if they would have did it, let's just say they did it with Doctor Strange, and adding Son of Satan and all of them. It's still would, because that comic book was really gritty, even though the Hulk was in it too. That comic book was a
yeah,
really
well, that
gritty
that
comic
that
book.
now you talk about too much money to produce that. If you got to put Hulk in it, yeah. So I mean,
And
they're
and
able to
and
do.
and that's another good reason to use the Hulk, because he can't, because right now he still can't have his own movie. So that would be another way of using
I
the
mean,
Hulk.
that'd be an excuse to put him in there, but then you kind of run into the problem that She-Hulk ran into. You know, that a lot of their budget went to, that's why you had a lot of episodes where she did turn to She-Hulk, but there was a lot of episodes where a lot of the episode she was not She-Hulk.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying? Because
but
they had
that's
to.
because they blew all that money on that fight on the beach.
I know. So they learned their lesson. They learned their lesson.
And that show still
Um,
could have been that show still could have been good if they would have strayed away from the comedy element. Because I don't
but
remember She-Hulk being funny.
no,
Me
no,
either.
no.
I don't
She
know much
always
about
she
She-Hulk.
no. She-Hulk always broke the fourth wall.
Well, I
She
knew she
always
broke the
did
four.
in the
I knew
comic,
she broke the fourth wall, but I
but
don't
that was
never
the
remember
comedy
her
level
being.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know why. I don't remember. I don't remember it being. I don't remember her being funny.
Mm. Yeah. Well, breaking the fourth wall is a comedic act. Yeah, people who do that, like you don't normally do that unless it's
Yeah,
it's
unless
done
you're
very
doing something
rarely in
funny.
drama. Yeah, right. It's mostly it's really a comedic
Say
move. You know
Ferris.
You
what I
know
mean?
why? Oh, you know why? It's
Steve
because
Ferris,
most of the stuff. Because most of the stuff that I saw She-Hulk in the comic books, she didn't break the fourth wall.
right?
In some of the
Because she
stuff that
might
she
have
was
been,
in.
because you probably saw her in, she was a guest in a comic. It
Well,
wasn't
she was
she
in when she
probably
was in
wasn't a
West
She-Hulk
when
count.
she was with West Coast Avengers. Um,
See, that's not a She-Hulk comic. If it's a
yeah, that's not a
She-Hulk
She-Hulk
comic,
comic.
you
Yeah,
see her break.
I didn't collect any of
Yeah,
the She-Hulk comics.
yeah,
Um, I did collect West Coast Avengers. I did collect that. Um,
yeah.
but I didn't collect none of the She-Hulk comics. That's why I never remember her breaking the fourth wall. Because technically speaking, she broke the fourth wall before Deadpool did.
Yeah. Well, because she was around before Deadpool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I tell you one thing: if Marvel really want to keep on that gritty, on the ground level, man, do a Night Thrasher show, bro.
Yo, if they do that and do the New Warriors, yo,
Yeah. Oh my
yo,
He's a
yo.
character that's just like, yo, that would be so cool. I would have. I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. Not. This is no shade towards Wonder Man, but I would have probably preferred to see that character. First of all, that guy would have been good as him too, because he can act. He can do anything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he's too old. He's too old to
He's
be
too old
Night
to be
Thrasher.
Night Thrasher.
So,
Night Thrasher
yeah,
needs to be younger. Yeah, you need to get somebody young.
and that dude is too big to be on a skateboard. I can't see him being on a skateboard.
Look. That's the part I'm gonna disagree with. You ever seen you ain't never been out to LA and Venice Beach to see people going by skateboards.
No,
Look.
that's true. Yeah, that's
Ain't no
true.
such
That's
thing as
true.
too old
Too big to be
too
on a
They're too
skateboard.
old
old
to
Yeah.
and
skateboard.
big. No, they be on them skateboards, bro. Them
No,
niggas be
there's
like,
people out here in Long Beach that are a
Mhm.
lot of people ride skateboards out here that are older. But I mean, Yaya just looks weird. He would just look weird being on a skateboard. I'm sorry.
That's funny. Nah, but that would be a great one to do. Yeah, man. So we'll see how all of that turns out, bro. We'll see how it all turns out. It looks good though. It's looking promising. The
Oh,
Marvel
I feel
TV
encouraged.
animated. Yeah,
I'm
I feel
encouraged.
encouraged too. Even for zombies, I was never really pumped up for Marvel Zombies, but what they showed so far looks pretty interesting. Yeah, not
well,
really.
it's definitely gonna work because there's still room for zombie stuff like like right now The Walking Dead, the Chronicles of well, now it's
Daryl.
now, yeah, the Book of Darrow, the Chronicles of Carol. Right now it's called the Chronicles of Carol. It's the Book of Darrow, the Chronicles of Carol, because
Oh
Carol
yeah,
made
because
it.
originally they were supposed to do Daryl and Carol. Remember that was what it was at first.
Oh
Well,
my God,
but they
Daryl and
technically
Carol.
they did well but they are still doing it, but it's going to be them two
Setting
in
it up.
England. It's her coming to France is setting them up to be in England because now they're together in England. They're actually crossing the they're actually crossing the spoilers. This last episode of the Chronicles of Carol showed them underground leaving France and going through the channel, going through the channel, which is that's that tunnel that the bullet train goes through, that goes between uh
England and
France,
France?
yeah,
England,
between Great Britain and France, right? Goes under the English Channel.
Yeah.
Well, they're crossing through there, and that was weird, man. I didn't know. It was a dope episode because they had the glow in the. It kind of reminds you of Marvel Zombie. Like if Marvel decided to do zombies for real, they could take a book out of The Walking Dead to do it, because the European zombies are different than the American zombies. The European zombies, they got like acid for brain. Their brains are like acid. So when you like stab them, their blood it's weird. Like if it gets on you, it can burn through your skin. They're almost like they're aliens.
That's what I
Like
said. That sounds like Marvel aliens.
yeah, and but when you stab them
Hey,
in their
you know what? That might be a mashup. Marvel versus aliens. It happened. Aliens versus Predator. Marvel versus aliens.
they did they for which is weird about what you just said, Ralph. They had Dark Horse Comics had they had Batman versus Predator. That series was dope. It was a 4-issue comic. I think it came out in like 89 ish or something like that.
Mm.
Batman versus Predator was dope. It was man, it was so dope. And Wes, you remember the guy the guy did it actually. Um, what's that guy's name? If you go on YouTube and you search for Batman versus Predator on YouTube,
Yeah. I
the
remember
the,
when he
the, the
did
guy
that. That's the guy who
yeah, the guy
he
the
was
guy actually did it.
he was a costume designer. He was a
Designer,
special
yeah.
effects guy.
Hmm.
Special
Yeah,
effects and costume. I think he actually designed the Predator costume.
Predator costume. Yeah, he actually did the Predator one, and he did a Batman versus Predator like short movie.
Oh, that was good. You ever saw that, Ralph?
I never saw that one.
Check it
Yeah,
out.
check
I
out
just
on
saw
it's on
Batman
YouTube.
versus Vader. I saw that. But
Yeah, no, that was cool too. But check out Batman versus. I think it's called. It's called something else though. It's not called Batman versus Predator. It's called Batman something night or something like that. But it's basically, if you just put in Batman versus Predator, it'll come up.
I'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it. You'll enjoy it. It's very, very it's really cool, man.
That was
I'm
one of
not
my
even gonna tell you
favorite series.
nothing else about it. I want you to
Yeah,
watch it and see. It's got a nice twist and everything. So just check it out. I'm trying to see. I think
and
it's
if you
called Batman Dead End. I think that's what
Dead
it's
End,
called.
yep, that's what it's called. Batman Dead End. That's what it's called. Yep.
Yeah, Batman Dead End. That's what you want to see, Ralph.
All right, I'll look it
This
up.
guy did a phenomenal job for it to
God.
be technically a fan film that was done in 2003. Yeah, I'm
And
saying
he pulled the idea from again, it's from the Dark Horse Comics,
from Dark
Batman
Comics.
versus
Yeah.
Predator.
You
And
watch it,
that
you're gonna be like, oh, it doesn't look cheesy. It looks professional. It looks really good. Like for a fan film because it's really.
and speaking of and speaking of Predator, uh, I think either the end of this year or the beginning of next year, we're getting a new Prey movie.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that's on
Hmm.
the board. Prey 2.
Which the last that's my favorite. I have seen Prey now about 30 times.
Oh
And I
wow!
and I went and bought they finally I think like in the beginning of the year, the end of last year, they had they finally got it onto DVD, and I bought the DVD of it, and I still watch the DVD, and I still watch it on Hulu. Like I love that movie, man. It's so good. It's so I'm still pissed that they didn't bring that in the movie theaters. I'm thinking I gotta find out if when you rent out a movie theater, can you play any movie that you want? Because I want to
Yeah.
see that on the big screen.
So long as so long as it is available. If they can it's got to be available.
Oh, it's got to be available.
It's got to be available.
Got to be available. Well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Before we get out of here, the obviously we had the passing of Quincy Jones. He was 91 years old. Lived a nice long life, and rest in peace, Quincy Jones, and everybody. That's condolences to the family and friends of Quincy Jones. So, I said this at the top of the show. Somebody had asked me a question in the light of we talk about Quincy Jones. We already know his legacy. We know his resume. Probably most known to be known for one of the men behind, or the producer behind Thriller, which is the greatest selling album ever. Um, he also did Off the Wall, of course, with Michael, and Bad. He was part of that too. So, and of course, We Are the World, another really big note for
Production.
him. Production, one of the biggest. So the question that the person asked me, which I thought was an interesting question, was for that time, was there anyone else that could have been in that position other than Quincy Jones? Now we all know that
Patrice Rushen.
we all know that Lionel Richie, and his team put it together. Michael worked on it with them and wrote the song. Harry Belafonte, it was his idea based on the people from Live Aid they did it first. Band Aid, excuse me, from Band Aid, that did Feed the World. That was done first. A lot of people don't realize that. They think We Are the World was done first and then that one was done. No. That one was done first. And it was that guy, I forget his name, from that band that bought the
Wham.
idea. No, not
Wasn't
from
it
Wham.
wasn't the Andy guy from Wham?
Nah, not the guy from Wham. He was from another band, I believe. One of the well, Wham is a British band too, though. But George Michael was in that one.
Mm-hmm.
He was in it. But anyway, so that was the question, and the question is really, we all know Quincy was picked there because there was potentially no one else that had the gravitas, that had the resume, who is that person that everyone in the room is going to listen to? Because that was his job. His job was to keep everybody on task when everybody is fooling around and having fun with each other. You need that one person that's like, all right, people, come on, let's get it together. Lionel was doing it too, but Lionel was one of them because obviously they all was listening to him, but Quincy Jones was the head as far as conducting it and producing it and giving here's your part, that
I
was the
have
question.
two.
Is there anybody else?
I have two.
Mhm.
On a performance part, as a performer, I probably would have said either Paul McCartney or John Lennon. One of them.
Okay.
Now, as far as the conducting part, that would be John Williams.
Well, of course, as far as conducting goes, but as far as like on a level of respect, I mean, they respect all of them. I said from the only person I could come up with from a clout level, from the gravitas, the cachet, just so respected that everybody respects him because of who he is. I don't know if he would have been able to be hands-on like Quincy, but I would have said Barry Gordy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Barry
yeah.
Barry Gordy. I know this one is gonna sound weird, but my two that I would have picked. I didn't even think about Barry Gordy, but he would have been one. But Barry Gordy wasn't really a production. He wasn't really known for for conducting like that.
No,
He
he wasn't. No,
couldn't.
I said, but what I mean is, if he was that head person, but he was hands-on as far as being in the studio and being
Yeah,
there, and he
as
made the
far as
decisions, so
producing,
he
yeah,
did produce it. Yeah, that's
producing,
part of producing. Yeah,
yeah.
producing it.
As far as producing is
Yeah,
concerned, yeah.
yeah.
I would have said. I know this is gonna sound weird, but my two pick would have been either Rick James or Patrice Rushen. And I
Right.
say Rick James because Rick James was a huge part before Rick James became big. He was really big behind the scenes at Motown. He wrote a lot of stuff with them, and
Right.
he worked with a lot. He was with
I
not
just
what's that white guy's name? When he was up in Boston, what's that white guy's name? It's a white folk artist. Who Rick James first played with when Rick James first started doing music. He was when he first got out of Boston. I can't remember the artist's name, but there's a white artist. It'll
was
come
he
to me
at
one
We
day.
Are the World?
No, no, I don't think he was in We Are the World. No, I
Well,
don't think so.
okay, so with Rick, yeah, I think Rick definitely had the experience. I just don't know if he would have had. I don't know.
I don't think he.
If they
I
would
don't
have
think he would
listened to
have had
Rick
the
James.
patience. No. Rick James might have been partying more than getting it done. I mean, I'm just guessing. I might go with you with the Patrice Rushen thing. Maybe Patrice Rushen, yes.
Lot of
But
respect. She definitely has respect.
Yeah. But
Definitely
no,
have respect.
I wouldn't have went with
No, Rick James back in before Rick James blew up and really got started, like, because he didn't start doing and again, you got to remember, a lot of people that do cocaine and stuff like that and do heavy drugs and stuff like that, they don't really they only really party hard in front of people who party hard like that. If that's not your scene, they kind of show respect back then.
Yeah.
They kind of show respect for
Yeah, but I
people.
mean Rick James back then, when We Are the World was going on, I'm not even talking about the partying part. I'm just thinking about
No,
what
but as far as
Rick James didn't mesh with everybody. He was kind of like
yeah,
Prince. He
that's the
you
only
know,
part.
yeah,
That's the only thing is that he
that was the
don't.
thing. He did
But
right.
he
He
would have
didn't
messed.
mesh with everybody.
But I think he would have worked better than Prince would have, because Prince is
Right.
more of an isolationist more than Rick
But
James is.
see, here's the deal. At that moment with Rick James, he wasn't buzzing at that moment, and
Yes, he was.
you not on
Nah,
that
not at
level,
that point.
not on that level.
Nah.
No,
Well,
not on the
at that
level
point
of all the people that was there.
Yeah,
yeah, yes,
he
he
was
was.
Right.
full
Yes, he
blown
was.
to
Because
his
that's how.
cocaine.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
He,
Oh, he absolutely was. I wish I could remember what that white guy's name was.
you know
And
the
it's a
only
big.
But
the only
It's a
other person
big.
that the only person I could think of right now that we're talking and I don't really think about it is maybe Phil Spector. Maybe Phil Spector could have did that. And it's a really big maybe. But I would say Phil Spector. Maybe he could have done that.
well, you know that the reason why obviously Quincy Jones was at the head because, like I said, you got all these people, all these egos. They're all in their own right. It's almost like it's like an all-star game. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to
Like
get an all-star coach to coach them.
right. You got to get an all-star coach, or you got to get somebody, or if you're coaching the Olympics, you got to get somebody who all of these people are going to respect because he got several, he's championship coach and
He
this,
got the
that, and the
Grammys
other.
behind him.
Yeah, right.
He's got
Got
that.
Grammys.
He's got the
Got
accolades.
Thriller behind him.
That's all he needed. That's all he needed.
He had the accolades. So I mean, remember if you watch the Greatest Night in Pop documentary, Dionne Warwick said, I was not even planning on going to the American Music Awards or LA at all. She said, I was in Vegas. She said, but when Quincy Jones calls you, you come.
Show up. You could show up.
That's just what it is. She's like, Quincy Jones calls you and says, hey, I need you here. You go. So,
and you know what's
like
you know what's proof of that? You know what's proof of that? Is Jamie Foxx's story when when he had did Ray, and he was out there partying or doing whatever he was doing, and he got the call, and they said to meet him at Quincy's house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, this is what it is. So that's why I said, honestly, for me, I only could think of, I like the Patrice Rushen is like a sleeper, but I love that pick. Because she had a lot of respect. People respected her dearly. But for me, the person who has that matches that the accolades, the things behind them, and all that, it's Berry Gordy. Yeah, I mean, it's like, Berry Gordy, man. It's Motown, bro. The man who started Motown. He got all the people. See, Smokey, but Smokey's so soft spoken. I don't think they respected Smokey. You know what I'm saying?
And again, Smokey's Smokey's an artist. He's not really
right.
and then don't get me wrong. Smokey's a dope songwriter and everything. But but he's not. He's like the rest of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If
He's
a
like the
bunch
rest
of
of them
artists
in
want to
there.
come,
He's a bunch of artists, yeah.
Yeah.
This is why, because respect level wise, they respected Lionel Richie, and they're gonna respect Michael Jackson, but they were artists, like you just said. You needed that one person who was like strictly a producer or an entrepreneur, or an executive or somebody like that,
or a conductor.
Or a conductor.
Yeah, that's why I say
that
like
can pull
John
all of that together.
Like
Right.
I think John Williams could have did it, but the flip side with John Williams is that while in scoring orchestra, he's the guy, but will he have that same type of repertoire with actual artists? I think that's the knock against him.
That's where the problem comes in with him. Everybody there knew Quincy Jones. Not that they wouldn't know John Williams, but everybody know, listen, this is Quincy Jones. Even if they didn't work with him, half of the people there has worked with him before in one shape, one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the ones that didn't. That was mostly like the white people, like didn't really get a chance to, the rock bands or the pop rockers and stuff like that. But they all respected Quincy. You could tell
Yeah.
from the documentary. They're all like, "Yeah, it's Quincy Jones." Like you had that. He was just that regalness that you just kind of looked at him standing there, and it's like, oh, Quincy Jones catch you horsing around, it's like, oh damn,
Hey.
Quincy Jones looking at us. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, that was a cool question to think about. But I thought really long and hard, and I couldn't think of nobody else other than Berry Gordy. Like it's like Berry Gordy walks in, everybody like, whoa, that's Berry Gordy. Like, yo, he called us all together. He's Sam Jackson. He's what's it, Nick Fury. Called the Avengers together. You know what I'm saying? So that's who Quincy was. He was the Nick Fury of We Are the World. The guy who helped assemble the Avengers and give them their directives, and there you go. And then they go out and execute. So rest in peace, Quincy, man. Obviously, Thriller, Quincy also ushered in a lot of different people. He introduced Tamia to the world. He introduced James Ingram to the world, amongst others. I found this out. This is a fun fact that I found out maybe about a little over a month ago. Did not know this, that James Ingram wrote PYT for Michael Jackson.
Really?
Didn't know that. I found this out about a month or maybe 2 months ago. James Ingram wrote PYT. And now I can't unhear it because when I listen to the way Michael Jackson delivers it, I can actually hear James Ingram
James Ingram singing it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you got to remember, now we know that. Shout out to my boy, Dr. Freeze. Freeze told me all the time, Michael Jackson, you can only do stuff for him if you could sing it in a fashion where he can see or hear himself singing it. So, but Michael, when you think about it, back then, Michael would conform to the style that the person who wrote the song. Because if you go back to I Can't Help It, that was written by Stevie Wonder. If you really listen to I Can't Help It, you can hear
Stevie, you can hear Stevie all over that. That's like Babyface. You can hear him all over that.
You can hear Stevie all over that, especially at the end where he goes up an octave and he's like, can't help it if I wanted to. And he's like even doing the little, like the little
exactly.
Like you did, like I'm sitting there like
Stevie riff.
That's Stevie. He did the Stevie riff. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I definitely hear that. And that's Stevie all day. So like when you listen to it, like, yeah, that's Stevie Wonder, man. So Mike,
that sounds like I Can't Help It. Sounds like that could be a song that comes straight off the Innovisions album.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt that way. Then when I re-listen to now every time I listen to PYT, at the end, he does this little riff, and I'm like, that's James Ingram. Like, that's a James Ingram riff. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Like, yeah, big up James Ingram for writing PYT. Michael Jackson. I mean, so obviously he got that opportunity through Quincy Jones. He wouldn't have had Quincy. He got the opportunity to be on We Are the World because of Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
Well, and remember, and remember the other thing that James Ingram got a thing to be on is Secret Garden when Quincy Jones did that album, and it was him, El DeBarge, Albie Shore, Barry White, and James Ingram.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And when they did it live, poor Albie Shore got left out because he can't sing.
Don't say
just
poor
wrong.
Albie Shore. His ass, get your singing game up. Get your live game up, bro. Nah, that's funny. Yeah, he got left out because he just can't sing.
Wow, you just throw him under the bus. Just
Like,
throw him under the
what do you
bus.
want me to do? Sing? Yeah, you gotta sing, bro. You want me to sing this live? Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we singers do. I always thought that was weird that Albie Shore. I mean, I love his part in the song, but I just always thought him smack in the middle of those singers, bro. Those unique voices.
It's because he was the bridge. Him and El DeBarge were the bridge between the current culture, the young culture, and bringing in, because James Ingram was like the middle ground. Of course, Barry White was 70s,
old school. Yeah,
old school. Even though it was and the funny thing is, even though it was the 80s, it was still like Albie Shore was like he was the current thing.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. That's the one thing that you can give Quincy credit for. He understood how to stay current and how to bridge everything together. Because Secret Garden was the perfect way to bridge it. Albie Shore was the new thing. El DeBarge was the current 80s thing. Like he was just as big as Michael Jackson and Prince and all of them from the 80s. He was like a huge 80s star. James Ingram obviously was just the middle ground, like he was the hot R&B guy, and then Barry White was, Barry White.
Yeah, Barry White could just throw that Barry White on, and it's a wrap. Everybody is just like,
and it's so cool how he made that work, how he made that song work. Like even today, listening because because Secret Garden is in my playlist.
That song is. I forgot to mention too, Kev, that
That's the panty dropper.
Q introduced Tevin Campbell to the world.
Yep, that's another one.
That's right.
And I'm surprised. That. Well, I guess he didn't use him because Tevin Campbell wasn't out then when Secret Garden came out, because that was years later when he introduced Tevin Campbell, because that was the 90s, right? Tevin Campbell was early 90s.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, but probably when this was coming out, under what's the name, Graffiti Bridge was about to hit, so he was probably
that was
waiting.
90s.
He was probably waiting.
So Tevin Campbell, because I'm gonna tell you, Tevin Campbell, if I'm gonna put it like this, if Tevin Campbell would have been the age he was then.
Oh no, he's on Back on the Block. He is on Back on the Block. I forgot.
He is on Back on the Block.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, he is on
Tomorrow. That was the song that
Tomorrow.
He kind of was introduced.
Yeah.
I mean, he was real young.
Yeah. He was real young. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that song. And I'm surprised that because he could have used him instead of Albie Shore for that, but he would have stole the show on that one.
Mm-hmm. What?
It's Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, that was released in 1989. That was when Tevin Campbell, single by Quincy Jones featuring Tevin Campbell, Tomorrow, A Better You, A Better Me.
Better Me.
It was released November 10th. Oh, wow. Coming up. November 10th, 1989 was when that song was released. Saida Guerra wrote that song.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Very underrated woman.
The brothers Johnson also produced it and helped write it. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's another one that Quincy, obviously really always go to with them.
And that's the only thing that pisses me off about Quincy Jones is that and I don't know what happened to Tevin Campbell. Well, if you let the behind the scenes people tell it. And anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not gonna go there with speculations. But it,
Sorbet.
yeah.
That's what's up.
Um, but Tevin Campbell. Not to say he could have been the next Michael Jackson, but he should have been the next big thing. Like Tevin Campbell should have been what Usher is now. Like we should be celebrating Tevin Campbell like how we celebrate Usher right now. He had that potential to be able to be that. If they would have really they didn't I don't know. It's just my feeling that they didn't put the machine behind Kevin Campbell like they should have.
I don't think that's it. I mean, because your first single was produced by Quincy Jones, the second single was produced by Prince. I mean, yo, bro, you got two big blue chippers in your back pocket.
Yeah, but I mean, but look who else was out around that time. I mean, even with New Edition, even though New Edition was a little bit older than him, but New Edition still was hanging around for a while.
Yeah, but I don't I think it boils down to how bad did he want it? Like did he get phased out and he'd say, no, let's be real. He might have been around all the grime stuff in the industry. Say, you know what, I don't want this. I could back away. I could back away from it because I mean at some point you gotta really want it. You know.
But when Tevin came back around and Babyface took over producing him, I mean that was a very successful run for him.
Oh yeah, that song he got called should break it down. That once again
that's Prince.
Like guys, Prince. that's a panty dropper. Y'all need to get your panty dropper list together.
That was
for real. It's cuddling season. It's cuddling time out here. For us guys too.
Prince. So Prince did that for him. And then, all of the other big hits, I'm Ready and all that stuff, that was Babyface.
Babyface, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that he had a very successful run there. I don't know. Yeah, things. And you also got to remember, man, it's hard. It's always hard for these young men when they come in as young men and making that transition from child to man. It's always hard. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's not an easy transition. And not everyone survives it.
And let me tell you something. I still don't understand how the hell Michael Jackson did it. Because Michael Jackson was he turned into a whole nother person. I'm talking about from Thriller back. Like from Thriller back, like off the wall.
Because Michael because
with that
growing up in
album,
the business made him understand, he paid attention and he understood what to do when it came to, okay, this is what the people want. And then he also decided, okay, this is what I want to do. And I'm going to do it this way, because that's why he had to.
Why Janet worked.
That's why he had to cut off. He had to kind of cut off. He had to go into his own bubble and cut off everybody so he could create and be the genius that he became. Because everyone else was kind of holding back. Because Michael was writing songs. Like by the time the Jacksons left Motown and went to where they go to Epic or wherever they was at, and they were just the Jacksons. Jermaine was gone. Randy steps in. Michael was writing most of the songs and was doing a lot of the vocal arrangement by himself. And so, like Heartbreak Hotel, that's all Michael.
Hotel, that Destiny album, boy, that thing was, oh man,
yeah.
He was doing that, So you got Can You Feel It? All these things. So he was doing a lot of that writing and stuff anyway. So he was just like, he probably was like, I'm gonna do this album with y'all, and then I'm gonna start moving on to my own thing.
That was the wall. Sucker, and that's what I hate, Joe Jack. I know, Lord, you're not supposed to hate people, but that's the sucker crap that Joe Jackson was on. Made him do that tour, brought them on to do the tour, to do the Thriller tour with him. Like what?
Yeah,
which is funny because a lot of people don't realize that there was never a Thriller tour.
No,
he never toured for Thriller. It was the Victory tour,
Sure.
And the only reason why, one of the reasons why he agreed to do it is so he can have his own time without the brothers out there. He would perform Thriller stuff. And it's just
Exactly.
like, wow. And he didn't really get a chance to fully perform Thriller stuff until he was touring for his other album.
His
Bad.
other albums, because anytime he everything he did with them with the brothers, that it sounded like crap with them in the background
Yeah, it
singing.
did. It did. I ain't even gonna lie, it does.
It sounded like pure hot trash.
Yo, that's funny. Yeah, that was messed up, man. But yeah, that's why Michael just became the person that he was, because he was just so business savvy. And the funny thing is, people, when you look at behind the scenes and everything that was going, Quincy and Michael bumped heads a lot. Thriller,
a whole lot.
Doing Thriller.
They bumped heads on Off the Wall.
On Off the Wall as well. Yeah, I just saw a video with a guy who was the engineer. He engineered from Off the Wall all the way to Invincible. He engineered all of Michael Jackson's albums. He said they mixed Thriller. No, was it Thriller or it was one of them songs? It was anyway. They mixed it 81 times, and because Michael just kept, oh, this is great, but why don't we try this? He said they mixed it 81 times, and they ended up using the second one that they.
Like, damn, bro.
And he said Quincy Jones came in there and said, "What the hell y'all doing?" He just said, like, "What the hell's going on in here? What type of shit is this?" or something like that. He said. And
but that's how that Michael Jackson sound got created, because they just experimenting and playing around.
Yeah.
And that's if anybody knows anything about what Wes, anything about being in the studio and being in front of that mixing board, you could get lost in trying to get the perfect mix. I mean, just trying to mix the snare, just trying to get just trying to get a snare to sound right. That's why you hear a lot of artists be like, "Yo, listen, I'm just gonna spit over this. Y'all can mess with the sound when I'm done."
Yeah.
Because you let an engineer or somebody like me get in there. I'm trying to tighten up the snare while you trying to spit your verse, and you don't care about that. But there's an equilibrium. There's an equilibrium and a balance with that, with how the verses, how the song is sung, and then how the instruments is laid with it. So I could totally see them.
Here's an interesting fun fact talking about Tevin Campbell. One of the when you look under personnel for the Tomorrow Better You Better Me, one of the background vocals, Jamie Foxworth.
Jamie, what?
That's
Foxworth?
random.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxworth from Family Matters. Who went?
Family Matters.
The one that went upstairs and never came back. She went upstairs, did some porn, and never came downstairs. That Jamie Foxworth is the one who played the little sister from Family Matters that literally they wrote her off when she went upstairs and never came down.
Yeah.
But background vocals, isn't that interesting? That was random.
Wow.
Who else? Is anybody else that jumps out? No, of course.
I almost thought you was gonna say Tracy Spencer.
No, I don't see her on here.
Yo, but you know something? She another one. She another one that really speaking should have blown up, and she just never did.
Yeah.
But you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. You know why? Because of these dumb ass fans. These chicks and their isms. They basically made her out to be. And I think the other thing that's kind of scarred her career too was she had I think there was an incident that happened between her and a fan, and allegedly there was something that happened between her and a fan, and she just got like marked as being this snot nose, just and I never saw that from her. I never saw that from her. But I think she suffers from the same thing that Amory suffers from, is wanting to be in control of their music and what they want to do, and not, you
Yeah, I
know.
mean, yeah, that too. But A Marie also, A Marie, we could do a whole show on her because she kind of got run over by the Beyonce buzzsaw.
Buzz too. Yeah,
Yeah,
that too.
yeah.
That
Let's
too.
keep
That
it a
too.
100. You know what I mean? She got run over by the Beyonce
Beyonce,
buzzsaw.
But
They was
even though
like,
she's
"Oh,
and
we
Carrie
love
Hilson.
this." They
and the
like, "We
sad
love this new sound. How about we give it to Beyonce?"
Yeah.
and the sad part is she dropped way before
Yeah,
Beyonce, like
of
what, 2 to
course.
3 years before Destiny's
Yeah,
Child.
before not before Destiny's
No,
Child,
no,
but before Beyonce
before
went
solo.
solo.
I'll say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
before
she did.
Beyonce went solo.
Because she said, cause when did she do Why Do We Fall in Love?
That's like
That
97, 98. It was like 98.
I mean, Destiny Child was around, but we're talking about when Beyonce as a solo artist.
Oh well,
That's where they really.
oh
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
she got buzz.
Because that's
Buzz
even when,
saw.
and you could tell, but you could tell that that's what they did when they did A Marie's This One Thing, because that sounds just like
Yes,
whatchamacallit.
exactly. Crazy in Love.
Yeah.
Same basic, stuff.
A
Yeah,
lot
they
of people got
they
mowed
took
down
that sound
by that Beyonce sound.
by that Beyonce buzz
Carrie
saw.
Hilson,
Yep.
Tamia, all got just
Yep.
mowed down.
Well, not
Like,
Tamia, not so much with Tamia
Tony
though.
Braxton. Not mowed down because Tony was in her own right, her own starter, but Tony told that story of how they just straight jacked the song from her.
yeah.
Word.
He told that story. Yeah.
Yeah,
She told that
Wow.
story.
me and my girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They jacked that whole concept and song from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Wow.
everything else got buzzed down by
She already did a
Rihanna.
song to it. Yeah. She already did a song to it. She had already did a song to the beat and everything. The same, Yeah. They took
Wow.
that. She told that story. Yeah, man. So that and Tamia was another one. See, the thing was, at this point in time, Quincy was starting to, these artists going into the 90s, they just weren't faring well with him because it was a new era of listeners, right? So, Tamia did better on her own than she did being signed under Quincy.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she definitely did. And
You
then
know what I
all
mean?
of her, but all of her albums, even the ones she did under Quincy, all of her albums were dope.
No, they're all good because
They're all dope.
she's a phenomenal singer, and they were all dope. But see, the problem was Quincy she was young with that mature voice, and Quincy was
Yeah.
marketing her as like contemporary adult. You know what I'm saying? And it just wasn't, she's my age. You know what I'm saying? She's, at that point back then, she was young, and she just wasn't marketed to her right market. You know what I'm saying?
And
He
she
was
has
trying
such a
to
mature
market her
sounding voice.
right. He was trying to market her to his market or to the market, So that was the problem. And what, so by the time she boom boom boom, I guess she was, because she was on the Quest for a while though. She was on the Quest for a while. But then she moved, I think, to like Def Jam or Electra or something like that. But yeah, I think Q didn't really know how to market her. You know what I'm saying? And
Like,
that
and
was the
another one
problem.
that falls into another one that falls in that category too is Shantae Moore.
Yep.
Yeah. Another one falls right in that category.
I'm gonna put in there also Shanice.
Yeah, Shanice is another one. Shanice is
Because their
another one.
voices, and these are women with phenomenal voices, mature voices at young ages.
Well, actually, Shanice was older Shanice was actually older than what people thought she was
But
She had
still,
that beautiful.
when
she
she
had that
came out.
voice.
But she
She
had that
wasn't
voice
coming out
though.
with that New Jack music or how Monica came out, because Monica had the same voice at 15 that she got now, but Monica was
Yeah,
coming out with like the hip hop vibe,
Yeah.
where she's coming
yeah.
on like a
Shanice was
R&B.
straight.
By the
Shanice
time she,
Shanice was still in the same lane as Stacey Lattisaw and
Yep.
and them.
yeah, by the time, and remember that, but that's the funny thing. That was the older way of doing things back in that time. That's what you did. You marketed young people to older people. Because when you think about it, look at Michael Jackson. He was a freaking kid singing songs that older people should have been singing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And you listen to him. You listen to him because he just was that soulful with his voice and stuff like that. You would do that, you get away with that. But by the time the 90s came around, you couldn't really get away with that. When you're marketing this young person to an older audience, if or where they would have fared better with more if they, because I remember by the time I'm looking up here with Tamia, her self-titled debut album was released in 1998 and followed by a series of successful albums with Elektra Records. So she had already left Q, and remember, she appeared in '95 on Q's Juke Joint, that album. That was '95. So it wasn't until 3 years later that her first album came out. Right? She did a self-debuted album. Then you had an album in 2000, A New Day. That was my joint. I love that album. That's the album where she got the hat
yeah.
covering half of
He's
her
hugging
eye.
it, get
Looking
tilted down.
so
Yeah,
fine. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That was yeah, I love that. That was a good album because I think that was the album that had
Was that with Snake in My House?
Stranger in My House was on
No,
that album.
yeah.
Yeah. Um and then she also had Tell Me, oh man, Tell Me Who. Yeah, that was my song, yo. That
She was
Tell
in
Me Who
Speed
Who
2.
joined
She
us
had that
in the
brief
bed.
appearance in
Yeah.
Speed 2.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, oh, she killed that. She killed that. That album was good. That was a good album. I mean, all like you said, Kev, all her albums were good actually. They
Yeah.
were all good. Yeah. So but yeah, man. So that's that. So yeah, man. Once again, before we get out of here, make sure you go check out the Urban Action showcase and Expo this Saturday, November 9th, from 10 a.m. to whenever, all day, 10 to midnight.
All day,
The
yeah.
Charles Bronson, not the Charles Bronson movie, but that's a good movie too, if you want to see that. But from 10 a.m. to midnight at the Regal Cinema in Times Square, right?
Yep. 42nd Street.
42nd Street and 8th Avenue. It don't get no better than that. It don't get no bigger than that. You got the whole, get your tickets at Urban Action, Urban Action Showcase.com. UrbanActionShowcase.com. Get your tickets. You can get tickets at the door. There'll be more money. Check it out, man. You're gonna you'll have a great experience. Once again, I'll be missing it, and I'm so upset that I can't make it again. But you guys go there and represent. That'd be great. Get some great pictures, Ralph, and get some drops if you can.
Oh yeah. I got drops.
We'll work them into the new. We'll work them into the new intro. Just get some drops and it's if you can get some contact, maybe we can get some people on the show later down the line.
Yeah.
So that'd be perfect, man.
And I wanted to and people check out two shows that y'all should be checking out right now on on Prime Video, check out the Lioness series with Zoe Saldana.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that woman. Hands off, everybody.
yeah, and it's in it's
Oh, Lord.
did what you call it start yet? Did
and the
Cross
Citadel.
did
What
Cross start yet?
Cross?
Alex Cross.
No, that didn't
Alex
start yet.
Cross series.
I don't know if I
No,
want to see that. I don't know,
that didn't start
man.
yet. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
It'll be good.
That
It'll
didn't
be
start
fun.
yet,
I
and the
think.
Tulsa King is dope too.
Oh, Tulsa King is my show. I love that show, bro. Yeah. Oh man, Sylvester Stallone. He did it again. And
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
and I'm not a fan of reality shows, but if you are a fan of reality shows, the Family Stallone is actually pretty cool too. I'm not a big reality show person, but it's interesting seeing
I
him
saw
at
one
home with his
episode of that.
daughters.
He was up there
Yeah, it's
having
just
lunch with his kids, and Al
yeah.
Pacino just showed up. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
Al
this
Pacino,
is the life. This is his life, yo.
Al Pacino just walked up, said, "Hey, what's up?" Damn.
This is not his, yeah, this is his life, man. But yeah, check out Tulsa King. I agree. That show is good. And it's in the second season now. And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
really good. It's really
It's
good. I
really
gotta
good.
check out the
It's
episode from
really good.
yesterday. They drop every Sunday. I'm gonna check out the
Hmm.
episode from yesterday. So all right,
Yeah,
man. We done here. Peace out, everybody. Thank you for coming through. Joseph, of course, always holding down. We want to thank Demetrius for coming through and talking about his Urban Action showcase.
and the
Everybody that came through
Citadel
the chat
sucks.
room. Huh?
And the new Citadel movie.
That's out already?
There's one that's out now that's called the Citadel something. I forgot the girl's name. That's meh. And there's a new one coming up that the Russo brothers did. That's going to be based out of India. The city, a Citadel, something bunny, baby bunny, bunny baby or
Yeah.
something.
Okay.
There's 3 of them now. There's the first Citadel, and then there's the
Yeah.
second one that just came out with the with the French girl. That was okay. I couldn't really get into that one. And now they got this new one coming out that the Russo brothers did. I hope this one is good.
All right. Well, we'll see. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night, man. Thank y'all for coming out and showing up. Peace.
La la la.
Deuces.